Hey, my name is Jim Zaspel. Thanks for watching this video. You can catch more of my videos on jimzaspel.com as well as real estate training videos at youtube.com/Jim the House Guy. Alright, so today what I'm going to talk about is how to get paid twice on your wholesale deals. Okay, I'm talking about a regular old, plain old cash deal that you're wholesaling. So what's that mean? It means you got a house under contract with the seller at a discount. The house may or may not need some work done to it, but the point is you got a really good deal on that house. Let's get a really good deal. You've got under contract. Now you're wanting to flip it to a buyer. When I say a buyer, that means a cash buyer, somebody who's willing to pay more for it than you are. So if you got the house under contract at this price, okay, let's just call that $35,000, okay? And then that's with the seller, you've got that under contract. You want to find a buyer, say at $50,000. Actually, those are the exact numbers of my first wholesale deal. All right, and then the middle difference right here is your profit, 15,000 bucks. Okay, and the seller gets the rest, and the buyer obviously could resell it for more if you put some money into it, or maybe rent it out. Depends on the deal. Okay, so that's what I'm talking about, wholesaling. So what I want to show you how to do is to get paid more than just that 15,000 bucks. See, wouldn't it be really cool is if you had a buyer lined up for this guy? So the guy that pays you the $50,000 right here for the house, what if he wants to rent it or maybe sell it, or get this, maybe sell it on a lease option? Okay, wouldn't it be really cool as if in addition to the $15,000 profit wholesale fee on that deal, you had a lease option buyer waiting to buy the house once he fixed it up? So let me run you through how this works. I did this recently on a deal. It wasn't a $15,000 spread, but I'm going to show you how I had a house under contract. It wound up being kind of a crappy wholesale deal because I was only going to make like it was $4,400 bucks. $4,400 bucks, right? So anyway, let me give you the numbers. So I got the house. I'm going to give you a timeline here. Can you see that? All right, timeline. So I got the house under contract for, this was $22,000, a low-end West Philly deal, okay? $22,000 to buy. All right, so I got under contract, paid $22,000 to the seller, right? Did my marketing, had a buyer lined up, ready to pay $26,500. I don't know if you can read that or not from where you're at. So that's a $4,500 spread. It took, I think, 3 weeks. It took a while. It took 3 weeks to find that guy. Still, it's not bad, 1,500 bucks a week, whatever. Find that wholesale deal. But, so I was marketing. This is a cash buyer, all right? Cash buyer. In addition to making a $4,500 spread because I marked it to a cash buyer, I also simultaneously found a lease option buyer who was willing to pay, get this, $55,000. Again, this is a low-end West Philly deal. I don't normally deal in this price range, but I did in this one. It's one of the most recent ones I did. Somebody was willing to pay on a lease option $55,000 bucks as his condition. So this cash buyer, all he had to do was pay $26,500 cash for the property, and then sell it on a lease option for $55,000 to the buyer I had already found for him. So, again, I told you earlier, I'm going to show you how to get paid twice on your wholesale deals. Well, this buyer right here who wanted to buy it on a lease option, and by the way, a lease option is simply when you rent a house from somebody with the exclusive right to buy the house at some point down the road. So it might mean that they put up a down payment. They may or may not pay a high monthly payment. Usually it's typically they put up a 5 to 15% down payment. It's non-refundable. Again, this is the lease option buyer. So in this case, this buyer agreed to put up $6,000 down. All right, $6,000 is a down payment. He was renting it, I forget, let's say $700 bucks a month, but he agreed to pay $55,000. So the $6,000 that the buyer put down went towards his $55,000 purchase price. So 55 minus 6 is $49,000. I know there's no way you can read that, so I'm just going to cross that out. So Jim, you're asking me, Jim, how did you get paid twice on this deal? Well, right here, we've got a total profit on this cash deal. Let's go back to the wholesale deal. Under contract to pay cash, 22 grand. Under contract with the cash buyer, 26.5. So that's a profit of 4,500. You can't read that from where you're at. So 4,500. Okay, that's the profit in the wholesale deal. Not a bad wholesale deal, but it's really not that good. I said a good wholesale deal is a $10,000 profit or above. All right, now this lease option buyer right here. First of all, who is he going to buy it from? Is he buying it from the seller? No. Is he buying it from me? No. He's buying it from this cash buyer. All right? I'll walk through the logistics of closing in just a second. This buyer had $6,000 down. Now this buyer, he wanted $2,000 of it, right? The equivalent of, I think it was just about 3 months rent. So $6,000 minus $2,000 is what? $4,000, right? So that means I got paid another $4,000, which is about double my profit to $8,500. Okay? So $8,500 profit on a $4,500 wholesale deal. Again, did I get rich in this deal? No. But I made just about twice as much money as I would have made if I hadn't marketed the house to a lease option buyer. So what I do to market it, I put up a banner on the house, it said rent to own, ugly credit's okay, down payment phone number. I emailed my buyers list, I put it on my website, put it on a bunch of websites online, a bunch of stuff I normally do for marketing. That's not the point of this video. But the point is, while I was working on lining up my cash buyer, I was simultaneously advertising it on a lease option or rent to own to find a qualified lease option buyer. So at closing, here's what happened. Go to closing, this guy, cash buyer, buys it from the seller. I make my wholesale fee $4,500. Right? We stay at the same closing table. The seller leaves. 10 minutes later, this buyer walks in. Okay? And then this buyer does the deal and lease options the house from the new owner. Okay? And here's the cool part about what I did here. This might sound a little complicated, confusing, might sound like it'd be kind of hard to get this guy to agree to it, the seller, but no. I let everybody know what I was doing. The buyer, the seller, the title agent, the attorney, everybody knew what I was doing. It was very, very straightforward, full disclosure to everybody. So why, you're probably asking yourself, well, why did they go along with it? Here's why. Everybody got what they wanted. The seller got us $22,000, right? This buyer got the house for $26,500. He also got to sell the house for $55 grand. This buyer got to buy the house on a lease option for $55 grand. Everybody got what they wanted. It was a true win-win deal. So again, the moral of the story, the point of this video, is to get paid twice on all of your wholesale deals. See, most wholesalers, they would have been content with just that $4,500 spread. But if you learn to market your wholesale deals while you're finding your cash buyer, learn to market them simultaneously as a rent-to-own or a lease option deal, it will prove to be very, very profitable for you, and you'll make an extra $5,000 to $15,000 on every single one of your wholesale deals. And that's in addition to your wholesale fee. All right. So for more information, want to learn how to contact me, just go to jimzaspel.com. You can check out my houses for sale at jimmyzhomes.com. That's www.jimmyzhomes.com. All right, that's all for today. Thanks so much. Have a good one.